Our party. Thank you.
The Honourable Mary Ann Street.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. It gives me pleasure to rise to speak to this bill, but I do wonder why this bill, which was introduced on the 24th of August 2010, has taken till now to surface. It has been languishing at the bottom of the order paper for some time, and yet suddenly here today, on Thursday, the 28th of June 2012, the government has seen fit to elevate it to the top of the order paper. And I can only imagine, Mr Speaker, it is because the government has been so roundly stung by international reaction to its poor performance on the depleted uranium bill last night that it has in fact sought to redeem itself somewhat by introducing this bill. I think the posts that have gone around the world about the National Party's contributions, and every member's speech has been posted on websites and for access through Twitter and gone internationally, I think has stung the government, and it has now seen fit to try to redeem itself and prove that it's really not such a bad international citizen after all. And I look forward to the members who spoke in last night's debate on depleted uranium searching out the reference to their own speeches on the websites of interest, because these are about international movements and these are about international citizenship. So that being as it may, Mr Speaker, I only comment on the moment of this bill coming forward, not the fact that it has. It is an important bill, Mr Speaker, and I don't know whether you would permit me just to stand this here or not, or you may consider it the use of a visual aid and not appropriate, and I will certainly take it down if you tell me to do that. But the three symbols that I'm demonstrating here on my iPad that are representative now of the protection that, they cause the people who provide medical and humanitarian support in places of conflict can be protected by the wearing of these symbols. But the point about this, Mr Speaker, which I think is serious, is a very serious point, and one that the Labour opposition supports, is underlined by the fact that human beings respond to symbols. Human beings respond to symbols. We govern our lives by symbols. We attach emotional importance to symbols. We attach political significance to symbols. And so it is unsurprising that over time the three symbols that are here have been developed in order to accommodate the different expressions, particularly of religious tradition, that we find around the world. The Red Cross symbol has been in existence since 1864 and has achieved a huge amount of credibility in humanitarian efforts around the world, and every conflict one can name, Mr Speaker, since 1864, the credibility of the service that people marked with the Red Cross, typically medics, but also non-arms bearing assistance of one kind or another, humanitarian assistance of one kind or another, can wear for protection, to identify themselves as not being of any party involved in a conflict and therefore needing protection. The Red Crescent, Mr Speaker, was first used by the Ottoman Empire in 1870 and was formally recognised internationally in 1929. And of course the symbolism of these two first symbols is clear. One looks like a Christian symbol, one looks like a Muslim symbol. And of course we can see the crescent, for example, used widely on flags of Muslim nations. And that symbolism is redolent with all kinds of meaning and associations. We should never underestimate the power of symbols. And so, in order to protect people who go into war-torn conflicts, war-torn areas of conflict, from being associated with one side or another, particularly as religious-based conflict has developed over time, and religion and culture are frequently inseparable in these conflicts, especially as those have developed. It has become necessary to use the red crystal. It's called the red crystal, and the minister in his opening speech gave a very technical description of it, but it's basically a red diamond on a white background. It's a red diamond with a white diamond inside it. So it is a different symbol. And thank you for indulging me on that, Mr. Speaker. I will take the visual aid away. But it is a red diamond, and that allows people to associate something other than religious traditions and cultural commitments to a symbol that needs to be available for the protection of those non-combatants who go into war-torn areas to offer humanitarian assistance. I noticed that in a couple of speeches, Ethiopia has been mentioned. I think in the minister's opening speech he referred to Eritrea, in fact. And I think, if I remember correctly, Minister, he referred to both symbols, in fact, being used in Eritrea. And certainly that would be true of Ethiopia, which used to have Eritrea within its border, because 64% of the people of Ethiopia are, in fact, Ethiopian Orthodox Christians. They're not Coptics, they are Ethiopian Orthodox Christians. And they have, no, not Coptic, no, Coptics are quite different. There are 5 Orthodox, I won't go into this, there are 5 Orthodox churches around the world, and Ethiopians is one of the 5, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And on the other side of the population, 64% are Christian and Ethiopian Orthodox Christians, but there is a very large contingent, some 34% of the Ethiopian population who are Muslim, who came to Ethiopia for refuge at the time of Muhammad, when they were being persecuted, and Muhammad told them to go to Ethiopia and seek refuge because they would be well treated there. And that has been the history of Ethiopia, that Christian and Muslim have coexisted peacefully in Ethiopia. The Eritrean division was something quite different, but the use of the 2 symbols has been important in that, certainly in Eritrea, but is relevant in the population makeup in Ethiopia. Mr. Speaker, this is an important convention to pass. The fact that it has taken a long time to get here, in the end, is simply a point to note. This brings New Zealand into line with 60 other countries internationally, and goes towards that safety that the international community can afford to those non-combatants, those medical personnel who go in to assist people of whatever side, whatever part of a conflict they may be, and give them the kind of humanitarian assistance that all of us, at the core of our being, would wish them to be able to do without harm. I support this bill, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
I call Materia to...